Picture styles and picture profiles, these depend on your individual cameras. Very many cameras have a different and often varied selection of these. Modern cameras often use these as a marketing ploy, but they can be quite useful when you want a certain styling of your image straight off. So for example, you might want an image in grayscale, black and white. You might want an image which appears to be like an old-fashioned photograph, like a vintage photograph, etc. So you will have a variety of styles, all of which depends on your particular make and model of your camera, and you'll have to look at your individual cameras for this. Bear in mind, a lot of these sorts of styles you can impose upon your images after you take the photograph, in post-production using software like Photoshop and GIMP. So it's not always something which you want to commit to, because of course once you apply a certain style in the original photograph, it's very difficult to, for example, you'd have to colorize it if you had it in grayscale or black and white, as a style. It'd be difficult to reapply it to look like a normal colorized photograph again. So it might be something where you take the original photograph and then you can apply the styling in post-production. As I say, it might be more preferable. And of course there's a large variety of choices, so you really do have to get used to your individual camera. Okay, but be creative. It's worth having a play. Sometimes some of these styles and some of these picture profiles can be quite useful. There's picture profiles, for example, which deal with certain types of settings. Maybe you're taking at night time, maybe you're taking certain types of lighting conditions, and certain styles are more creative, more sort of allowing you to be sort of, have some sort of inspiration on the actual appearance and the mood that particular picture is going to convey to the viewer.
Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, and it's something that really gets overlooked a lot, is depending on what camera you have, they might call it picture style, they might call it a film simulation, they might call it picture profile. This is the way that we tell the camera what sort of color look we're going for. And all different brands have a whole bunch of different choices that you can select as far as this goes. And you can get sort of black and white for cool street photography, or you can get really punchy saturated colors for landscape photography, or you can get some sort of muted, softer, sort of less sharp images for portrait photography. But if we just leave the camera in automatic or the standard picture profile, we're giving up all that control and all kinds of choices that we can make as far as the way the colors go. And this is one of the things that our phones kind of do for us. So we take a picture with our phone and it kind of makes all these decisions, and it does the first level of editing before we even see the photo. With our camera, it generally tries to remain somewhat true to what we're seeing. And you've taken a photo with your phone before and you're like, oh, it looks pretty good. And then you look at the phone and you're like, wow, that looks amazing. It looks even better in the phone than it sort of does in real life. And if that's the look you're going for, you can achieve that in your camera, regardless of which camera brand you've got. You just need to play with the picture profiles. The other side of that is you might want to take pictures and you might want to create sort of a more filmic, moody, cinematic, or vintage look. You can do that with the picture styles and picture profiles as well. So you really just want to go in there, play with those picture styles, play with those picture profiles, do your own research. There'll be some stuff in the manuals telling what each of them is good for. And you can really tweak the way your sort of finished photos look by going in and playing with that sort of picture style, picture profile settings.